Every single game is crucial.
We can't be too obsessed with short-term fix.
He made the most functional United team that we've seen in the last few years.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pint-Sized Pressers. I'm Dan Bennett. I'm joined by HaytersTV's Sid Khan and Tchigura, standing in for Aisha Galati this week. She's away interviewing some Arsenal women's players, I believe, so exciting day for her. We're here always at Box Bar Piccadilly, new sports bar that's opened up right in the heart of London. Come and check it out. Showing all your sport here, not just the football. So yeah, great place to come in and watch your sport. All right, so without further ado, looking ahead to the weekend's action, Leeds versus Arsenal, Saturday 3 p.m. Looking to bounce back, obviously, after that defeat to Manchester United. Before we get into it, our reporter James Dennis was at Mikel Arteta's press conference earlier today.
James Dennis here at Arsenal's training ground. We've just heard from Mikel Arteta, ahead of Arsenal's Premier League clash against Leeds. Arteta confirmed that Max Dowman is now pre-signed a contract ahead of his 17th birthday on the 31st December. He also commented on Kai Havertz's return and his relationship with Pep Guardiola, as it looks like the two will be facing off in the title battle yet again.
Well, certainly one of the best. I mean, what he's done with us at the age of 15, me personally, I haven't seen it before, only with a guy that used to play in Barcelona, but maybe not even that. But yeah, he certainly has, not only that, he has a certain charisma as well and personality that he doesn't get overwhelmed, whether it's by the situation or the stadium or the opposition, and that's a huge quality to have.
So we heard from Mikel Arteta there. Sid, I mean, obviously they bounced back in midweek with that 3-2 win over Clara Almaty, but you've been a bit surprised around the noise around the club after that defeat to Manchester United. I mean, it was the first home defeat they've had this season.
Yeah, first home defeat of the season, but I saw some reports saying there was boos around the Emirates. I didn't hear any myself. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I didn't hear any myself. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have to bounce back. It's 3 without a win. I know Arsenal fans naturally quite pessimistic, especially given the sort of title collapses you can say of the last couple of years. But you know, I think this squad is definitely better equipped to deal with these sort of challenges. We're still in all 4 cup competitions, or all 3, and then the league, of course. So yeah, any hyperbolic sort of reports about us, I just ignore them. I think we're still in a strong position, and we're still in the strongest position in any team in England. So
I suppose, like you say, it's kind of like the last couple of seasons have almost scarred the fan base. So any signs of kind of nerves or jitters, it kind of feeds into that, doesn't it? So
definitely. But like I said, I think we're far, far, far better equipped than we were last season. And well, not even just last season, last 3 or 4. So yeah, any sort of jitters, any points dropped, they do seem to be any Arsenal fan will tell you. Yeah, but I think, look, we're still in a strong position, 4 points clear. I think only to think a couple of weeks ago it was we were 1 point clear of Man City or 2. Obviously, I think the main thing is that if we had won against Forest, Liverpool, United, we'd be 12, 11 points clear, and that in a way you'd sort of be definitely favourites, but you think we definitely should win it from there.
Yeah.
So I think that's the frustrating part for most Arsenal fans, but look, still in a strong position.
Yeah, well, you just touched on what I was going to comment to there, Japtich.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think those 2 draws are maybe the bigger issue for Arsenal fans? Not, the loss to Manchester United. It's the failure to beat Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. Obviously, before that loss to Man United has sort of heightened the nerves around the club among the fan base.
Yeah, I think definitely. Obviously, they've got memories as well of the previous few years. I remember, was it 2 or 3 years ago when they dropped points against Southampton and then West Ham? Right.
Don't be reminded of that.
It's those sort of,
because Arsenal
feeding
now,
into
they've almost got a bit of the PTSD from these previous seasons. So when they do drop these points against teams they should be beating, it brings back all those feelings. And you see on social media fans saying it. You see articles of Arsenal got the bottle.
I do think it's a bit of an easy narrative just to paint the last few years as what's going to happen this year. Obviously, there is an element to it, but we just got to stay strong and hope that
Yeah, I mean, personally, I did find the kind of reaction to it a bit ridiculous. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't think that Arsenal were going to go from, you know, the new year to the end of the season unbeaten. I thought they were going to lose a game,
Yeah.
and it was their first home loss of the season.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, obviously with those 2 draws coming before it, that's kind of
Compounded.
like I said to Jupp, it's, you know, heightened the tension and the nerves around the club. I think had they won those 2 games, I think the loss to Man United, the noise wouldn't be as much. But because it's kind of in a dip in form overall, that's kind of added to it. But I just think they're 4 points clear at the top of the league. They're in a great position. I don't think they need to be worried. Do you think Arsenal fans should be worried?
I think one thing is that from the outside looking in, Arsenal, it seems, have had such an unbelievable season in the Premier League and the Champions League. Feels like they almost never lose. And City, on the other hand, it feels like they've had a bit of a meh season. They've been dropping points constantly, and Arsenal are only 4 points clear. It does feel to me that if City were to put a run together.
How long we've been saying that?
Well, we have been saying that for a long time, but this is what
I mean, they did sort of have one with, I can't remember, it might have been November to sort of mid-January, and everyone was saying like they were going to be the favourites eventually.
Yeah.
But then we went 7 points clear, and obviously what transpired on the weekend happened. But
I did think that Arteta's comments a few days ago when he said, like, the rest of the season we're going to have a great ride, we want everyone to be on it. You don't normally hear him being that optimistic.
Yeah, I thought that was
Trying
really
to rally
good.
the fans.
To see him come out sort of swinging like that, I thought that was really.
Yeah, so
I enjoyed that press conference.
Let's see what.
I mean, we watch a lot of press conferences. Most of them are quite dull, but I enjoyed that one. That was very good. Think Havertz goes straight back in to the start. Obviously, he's come back, started against Kairat.
Yeah,
still building up his fitness.
Got
But
a goal and assist. Looked really sharp as well. I'd be surprised if he started.
Yeah.
I'd be.
Gyökeres?
I mean, I hope he does, because our other striking options haven't. They flattered to deceive. To be fair, most of the season. But yeah, I hope he starts. I'll be surprised if he does though, because that was his first start of the whole season, and his only Premier League minutes have come against United in the first game of the season. So probably not, but I hope so.
Predictions? What do you think? Leeds versus Arsenal. What do you think?
I think Arsenal are going to probably 4-1. I think they'll win comfortably.
I'm very precise, accurate, straight. What do you think?
I think it'll be a bit of a tighter game. Leeds have been quite a tough nut to crack in recent weeks, ever since they switched to a back 3. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it'll be a tight game as well. But I mean, I think I've predicted Arsenal to win that every week. So, and they have done most weeks, to be fair. But I do think they'll get back to winning ways in the Premier League this week. And yeah, I think they'll get an narrow win. Okay, we'll move on to Chelsea v West Ham, which is Saturday 5:30. We heard from Chelsea boss Liam Rosenior earlier today.
Priorities is to make the squad as strong as possible for the rest of the season. That's always the priority of every manager. I've been around long enough to know that things can change very, very quickly in the January market. I know the guys are working really, really hard to stay on top of things in terms of information, in terms of what's out there, in terms of who's interested in our players. Things change very quickly, and it's about us just being prepared for any development.
I mean, that was a huge win for Rosenior and Chelsea in midweek against Napoli. Yeah. You know, he's had a really good start at Chelsea. You know, we spoke about it last week. Maybe he's been given a bit of a kind of start with the games against Charlton and the obviously game against Paphos, which was probably harder than it should have been. But that win against Napoli was a real, you know, that was that really difficult game away. You know, Napoli had to win to stay in the Champions League, and they came from behind and showed real character. So, I mean, that's just massive for him, isn't it?
I mean, I'd read a stat that Napoli hadn't lost at home since December 2024, which is like 14 months. Obviously, Conte's had struggles in Europe. Everyone knows that. But to come from behind as well and win that crucial game, he's now won 5 out of his first 6 games. And I take your point about Charlton and Paphos not being too difficult, but on the flip side, I think 2 of the Premier League games, Brentford and Crystal Palace, under Enzo Maresca, Chelsea would struggle in those games. And
they were struggling before.
Those are the sort of games that Chelsea have regularly dropped points in. So to win both of them and then Napoli, like I said, 5 out of 6, to be honest, it's been an almost flawless start. I've been very impressed, and even the way he comes across, a lot was made of it before he joined Chelsea. But so I saw after the game against Napoli, he was doing an interview with TNT, and at the end of the interview, he said, "Oh, actually, can I just say something? I just wanted to acknowledge the Chelsea fans who were in hospital because there'd been a bit of a with the Napoli fans." So he said that himself. And then João Pedro was doing an interview with Chelsea TV after the game, and Lou Messina comes
I
in,
saw that, yeah.
interrupts it, but in a jokey way, and you can see he's building that rapport with the players. So yeah, it's been a great start.
Yeah, because there was a lot of, I mean, I don't want to say criticism, but with Maresca leaving, obviously the dissatisfaction with the ownership that kind of was around that time as well with the protests. But I think he's starting to look like a good appointment for Chelsea. I mean, I'm not saying necessarily be surprised, but it's his first job of a club of this magnitude. But I mean, he looks like he's really thriving, isn't he? He's settled in really well. I know he got a bit of stick for some of the things he was saying, and maybe some of the things he was saying at Strasbourg that he probably wishes he hadn't said now. But it's looking, I think Chelsea fans should be getting excited.
I think so. Yeah, he surprised me, and I think most Chelsea fans are impressed by what they've seen. He's very likeable, and Enzo Maresca was at times a little bit cold, felt a bit cold and calculated, whereas Rosenior feels very warm, and he's trying to get the fans on side. And I mean, West Ham, you would expect at home as well. You'd expect them to win that. So
I'll give us your prediction then. Are they going to win it?
I think so. I think after all the good things that I've just said, if you don't beat West Ham at home,
it's a resurgent West Ham, though.
I was going to say, saying that, they've won back-to-back league games.
For the
West
first
Ham.
time.
This potential banana skin, but
It could be. I mean, they looked really good against Sunderland last week.
Yeah.
I think Mateus Fernandes was probably the standout player of that game. Obviously scored a screamer and hit the bar whilst I think it was Alderete and Mavropanos were sort of having a scuffle just on the goal line, which was quite funny. But it's a potential banana skin. I don't know. We'll have a look.
What do you think? Give us a prediction.
Uh,
You can't sit on the fence on this show.
Yeah, I'll go 1-1 then.
1-1.
1-1.
I like it. I think Chelsea will be. Yeah, I do. I think, West Ham have improved. I think they've made some good signings as well under Nuno. I think he is starting to shape the team in the way he wants, but I think it's been such a good start.
I think a 1-1 prediction was my heart speaking, not my head. But
we'll see. We will see. All right, we'll move on to Liverpool v Newcastle. The Alexander Isak derby, although he's not going to be playing anyway, so it's maybe for the best. But our reporter Nazira Yusuf was there to hear from Arne Slot earlier today.
Every single game is crucial, but the way we've positioned ourselves now makes probably every game even more crucial, because that's definitely what we want to achieve.
Well, Sid, I mean, Liverpool have been outstanding in the Champions League. They're through to the round of 16. Big 6-0 win over Karabag on Wednesday, but they've struggled in the Premier League. Lost to Bournemouth last time out. What do you think? Why are they falling short in the Premier League?
It's a difficult
Put you
question.
on the spot there with that one.
If I knew the answer, I'd be Liverpool manager. But I don't know. There's a few things. I don't think the attack's been too bad. I mean, people like Ekitike looked really good, but then the likes of Gakpo, Salah this season, maybe Gakpo in more recently hasn't been that great. But I think it's the defence mainly. Obviously, they've had issues at right back.
Yeah, the defensive injuries are...
they're compiling.
Yeah, I mean, the good news for Liverpool, it looks like Konate will be back for this weekend. Obviously, he's been away after the death of his father on compassionate leave, but Frimpong got that injury against Karabag, so that's him and Bradley both out. They haven't really got a recognised right back.
I think Gomez is struggling as well.
Gomez is out this weekend as well. Obviously, Leone, the defender they signed, is also out, so...
You're going to be looking at Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones at right back potentially, which they've done quite well this season. But you're missing who you don't want, who your best player, their best player this season has undeniably been Szoboszlai. So you'd rather have him in midfield than right back. But I think that's been their main issue. It's hard to sort of sustain a title bid when you have all these.
Well, yes, I mean Slot's been saying repeatedly how difficult it is to keep going again in these games with the same players. But I mean, they spent a lot of money in the summer, but I mean, they also missed out on Gay, who's now gone to Manchester City. But do you think they should have gone about it a different way in the summer? They spent big on individual players rather than, refreshing the whole squad.
To be honest, I think if you were to even looking back at it now, to me it seemed like a perfect summer, and it still does.
I wasn't saying this at the time; it's only in hindsight.
It's difficult to rewrite history. For me, actually, one of the recent issues is Slot's comments in his press conferences. He's coming out with some bizarre quotes.
He said something about the Europa League against Atlanta.
Undermining Liverpool, it seems constantly. He kept saying we've won the title twice in 30 years. Then after they beat Karabakh 6-0. He said he got asked how pleased are you, and he said very pleased considering 2 years ago we were in the Europa League. And I've seen Liverpool fans, they're furious.
Yeah, but
Strange comments.
I think it's really hard as a manager, because everything you say, we're the media, we analyze everything he says, and I think sometimes to a fault he's like honest to the he'll say exactly what he's thinking. I think people talk saying he's making an excuse. I don't think he is. I think it's just the way he's trying to give an accurate explanation of what he thinks has gone wrong this season. I think it's quite good. I've enjoyed it, to be honest. But yeah, it's a very difficult. He's doing a press conference every 3 days, isn't he?
He did say because he also said perhaps the reason we won the league is because we lost to PSG, and then obviously everyone
clarified that. Yeah,
but he also said I'm going to keep being honest. So I respect that a lot.
Well, I enjoy it, so I'm glad for that personally. But Newcastle. At home this week, so they had a good draw against PSG in the Champions League in midweek, but looking to bounce back in the Premier League after losing to Aston Villa. What do you think? What's your prediction for this one, Joptej?
Is that St James's Park?
No, it's at Anfield.
Okay, I think draw, probably draw. I don't. It'd be another big pile of pressure if Liverpool lose that at home. I think draw.
I mean, they've drawn a lot of games in the Premier League recently. What do you think?
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. I don't think Newcastle have a brilliant away record this season, from
No,
what I can remember.
Yeah.
But I'll go 2-0 Liverpool.
No, they have really struggled away from home, Newcastle, and that is why I think Liverpool will win as well. All right, next up, we're on to the Sunday games now. We've turned over a new page. We're on to Sunday. It's Manchester United versus Fulham. I mean, the question's got to be asked, Joptej. Are they back? Are Man United back?
Carrick's are the real. Do you know what? It's very difficult to be anything but complimentary of what Carrick's done. Not even in this spell, but his previous spell a couple of years ago. If you look in those 5 games or however long over the 2 spells he's been manager, the teams that they beat, the managers that he's got points against, I mean, he's proven himself to be a very good manager for now. And I mean, if they carry on in this manner, I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't be in the discussion to get the job at the end of the season. I saw Roy Keane say, even if he wins every game, he shouldn't get it. But that's obviously a personal vendetta.
Yeah, it seems like a bit like, we were talking about Arsenal earlier about being scarred from the past and affected. It seems like because Ollie got the job and it didn't really work out. They finished second. It wasn't as bad as it has been in the last 2 years.
I actually think that it did work out under Ollie. Yeah. Again, from an outsider's perspective, if you were to ask me who's been the best United manager since Fergie, easily.
It's not a high bar. It's not a very high bar.
Those are the vibes at the club, the style of football. You had, your players like Rashford, Pogba, everyone was thriving, looking happy. And yeah, I mean, it does seem to have scarred a lot of people.
I mean, ultimately, he'll be deemed to have failed because he didn't win the Premier League, he didn't win trophies.
There was some humiliating results in there. I remember the 4-0 loss to Everton and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't. What do you think, Sid? Because I was listening to that the overlap as well, where Roy Keane and Gary Neville saying that Carrick, there's no way he should be in contention. But I think if he carries on, why would?
I mean, it's not like United fans get carried away after 2 games. But
yeah, we should say it's only 2 games. But
I mean, they've been the 2 most difficult fixtures you can have in the Premier League, and they were deserved winners against Arsenal. Very much as though when he is against Man City, they look really good.
It's not just the wins; it's the way Bruno Fernandes back to his best. Kobe Mainoo's come back in.
And Brahim's he's been good all season, but he's really, really.
I think the whole club feels like I don't like that bag. I know it was a joke, but
I was joking.
It does feel like the club is coming a bit like Amram had them way out there, and he was trying all this different stuff, and he isolated Mainoo, and fans were struggling to get on side. It feels like things are coming together now.
Yeah. Well, when you look back at I know it's only been 2 games under Carrick, but when you look back at sort of the stuff Amarim was doing now, it does look really bizarre. Basically what Carrick has done is changed to the system and put players in their right positions, and it
reintroduced the academy boy.
And it's just changed massively and for the better. And I think Amarim persisted with sort of that way for so long, and it just. I mean, look, United could crumble and start losing games now, and we'll say, well, Amarim was right, but it just seems very strange that he persisted.
I thought he was doing okay this season, to be honest, Amarim. I mean, he wasn't setting the world alight by any means, but I think he made the most functional United team that we've seen in the last few years. I mean,
I'm gonna have to push back on you.
I mean, if you
completely disagree with
if you look at the sort of underlying numbers, and I don't want to get too bogged down in that sort of thing, but they looked real. I'm not saying they're Real Madrid. I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't think he was doing as bad as some people were making out. And I know some United fans were really, really angry when he got sacked. Maybe the 1% last, so I don't know. But yeah, I think Carrick's done really well, to be fair to him. So I can only go off what I've seen, and they look really.
Yeah, I think they were certainly better, and I think the new signings helped with that. But I think it's been very breath of fresh air. I think what Carrick's come in and done.
It's a new energy. I think that's the main thing. It's just a fresh start.
Yeah,
probably what they needed.
With that in mind, Fulham at home. Jump to prediction. 3 wins in a row.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, under Carrick. What do you think?
Yeah, I think narrow win again, because Fulham. Yeah, I'll go
side.
I think this will be the
2-0 or something like that.
This will be the real test. I know that sounds a bit stupid because they've just played
makes sense
Arsenal and Man City, but you know, United, even when they've been bad, have always managed to get results against the big sides.
It's a very different challenge to what City or
Fulham will defend deeper, and they're gonna have to break them down, and
that's what they've historically struggled against.
Exactly, this is gonna be a real challenge, I think. Okay, well, we'll move on then. Spurs v Man City. Our reporter James St Dennis hot-footed it over to the other side of North London to hear from Thomas Frank earlier today.
We can't be too obsessed with short-term fix that's not helping on the long term, because if we don't do that, we will not. All the hard work we put in now can be limited for the future, and that's not that we want badly short-term success as well. I can promise that the Lewis family is super committed to this project. They want to do everything, and I will go against my rule, hopefully only once. That there's no doubt, it's clear that the club wants to sign Semenyo. They did everything. I think that's a clear signal that the Lewis family is very committed. That's a big signing with finances and all that. So it's aligned, but that's the quality players we are looking for to improve the squad. And if we can't find that, then it's definitely better to take the right decision. It's not the same that we're just getting quality players going forward, because we all know it's not that easy. And I'm sure if we're not, for whatever reason, able to get another player in or players in this window, then for the summer, it's a big summer ahead, and I'm not in doubt we'll see big improvements there.
Well, Juptage, another side who have done very well in the Champions League. A bit like last year, they did, not in Champions League, but they did very well in Europe. But they've struggled in the Premier League. Spurs obviously got that 2-2 draw with Burnley last week. Christian Romero scoring late on to get a point. But they do have a tendency to play better against the bigger teams, including Manchester City.
Especially City.
You think this is a game where they can get back to form in the Premier League?
Possibly. I mean, I look at it from the flip side instantly, which is that City cannot afford to drop points against Spurs, especially in the sort of form that they're in. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Spurs should be winning that game, but like you said, their recent record against City is excellent, and the players should be buoyed now that they've secured the top 8 finish in the Champions League. I've seen a lot of fans not fully back on side, but it's difficult to discredit doing so well in the Champions League, and fans haven't. So Spurs need to try and ride this wave that they're currently on.
Well, you mentioned Manchester City there. We'll come into that as well. We didn't hear from Pep Guardiola earlier, but our reporter Stan Smith was there to hear from another Pep Lijnders, the assistant manager at Manchester City.
I'm here at Manchester City, where with Pep Guardiola unavailable to attend a press conference today, it was Pep Lijnders who stepped in to preview their trip to face Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League this Sunday.
I've been in a few title races. It's always about just focusing on the next game. I know it's a cheeky answer, but you have to win your own games. You have to create your own path. You have to challenge yourselves to grow. You have to challenge yourself to do the things better you can control. And with this, you have to put pressure. You have to chase, and you have to go behind them. And they have to feel us. And with this, there's only possible winning football matches, and with this we can hopefully put pressure.
So Sid, 4 points behind league leaders Arsenal now after they beat Wolves last week, and then obviously Arsenal lost to Manchester United. They're still in there, aren't they, City? Despite kind of doesn't really feel like they've been that good.
I know.
Still in the title race.
They don't go away. No matter how much hard you try, they don't go away, do they? I mean, they've been far from breathtaking this season, but they're still in and amongst it, and you know that's all that really matters. Anything can happen this season, but as long as you get to May, April time, and you're still within touch and distance, anything can happen. But I feel like I say this every single year, but I don't think they're quite as good as they were before. But
I mean, they're definitely not what they were at their top. I think that's obvious. But you know, with the signings they've made in January, obviously bringing Mark Gahey and Anton Semenyo in, two massives, really, you know, two of the best players in their position in the Premier League. Do you think they can help City go on a run now, Japtid?
I think so. I think those players are good enough, and also these City players are smart, like because they've been there so many times. They A, know how to deal with the pressure, and B, they know what to say. So I saw Bernardo Silva a few days ago. He was putting the pressure on Arsenal, saying like, "I've been here for I don't know what he said, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever, and I've seen us win it 6 times and Liverpool win it twice. I've never seen Arsenal win it."
I mean, he's not wrong, is he?
Exactly, but he knows exactly what he's doing because you know that Mikel Arteta's reading those quotes, Saliba and all the guys in the dressing room.
Go the other way, though.
Mikel Arteta's probably printing that out and posting it on the wall saying, "This is what we're up against." So they're smart, and look, 4 points in it is pretty negligible at this stage. This is a huge game though against Tottenham. If they win it, it shows that they are serious.
Yeah, I'm still pretty confident that Arsenal will win it. I think they have been the best team in the league this year, but I don't think it's going to be sort of wrapped up.
No, we're not going to win it by 12 points or whatever.
I think it will go close. I think. Well, give us your predictions then, Josh.
I think City going to win.
City. You agree?
No, I'm going to hope. I'm saying this out of hope. 2-1 Spurs.
I actually think Spurs might win as well. Yeah. I mean,
they beat him early this season.
Yeah, and they always
do.
seem to do well against Man City.
Yeah,
and I think both Arsenal and City will drop points between now and the end of the season.
Definitely.
But I think there's still a vulnerability about City, and I don't know. I just fancy Spurs.
The interesting thing is that Arsenal play on the Saturday, right? So the gap could be 7 points going into the Spurs City game. That's an added pressure, but also an urgency for City. So if they then lose the game, I don't know, it probably says a lot that they're just not up to it this season. So it's a big game.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Big game on there. Like I said, Sunday, 4:30 p.m. All right, we'll move on to the rest of the games. Just want your quick fire predictions on this one. Brighton versus Everton. Bit of a mid-table clash, this one. I think I've gone first with Japtid every time. I'm sorry, Sid.
That's all right.
I've had to let you go second with your prediction.
I'll go 2-1 Brighton.
What do you think?
Draw.
I always predict Brighton to draw, but I know. I think these are two very draw teams. I think Everton are
draw heavy.
Yeah, draw heavy. I'm going for a draw as well. Wolves v Bournemouth.
Ooh. Bournemouth got to win that, I think.
Wolves have found a bit of form recently, but I think
we'll see beaten by City last weekend. But yeah, they do look a bit better now, Wolves. But I'm going to make a hat trick. I think Bournemouth will win that. The other title challenges: Villa versus Brentford. It's a big game. This. I mean, Villa, another side that won't go away. You know, they've had a couple of difficult results, but they're still only 4 points. You know, they're still right in the mix, aren't they? Despite Unai Emery sort of playing it down and saying they're not even top 5 contender. You know, but they're still in there. Think they'll carry on their good form?
Yeah, I think they will. And actually, you're right. They've not gone away. I've actually seen recently Emery's become one of the bookies' favourites for the Real Madrid job.
Oh, really?
That shows you how well he's doing, right?
Yeah, I hadn't seen that, but yeah.
So I think they'll carry on winning.
Yeah, I think they'll win this week. Yeah, I think they'll beat Brentford.
I do. I think Brentford, they've been having a good season, but they're not great away from home. They're much better at the G-Tech community stadium, I think.
Going up the table, though. I think last time I checked the other time, they were 8th. I think they've dropped a bit.
Yeah, they've had a couple of not so good results recently. But
I
think
season, though, for Keith.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were tipping them to go down.
When we were doing our pre-season predictors, I had them to go down.
You had them to go down?
Be honest.
There you go. I don't think I did. I think I backed it to stay up, but I didn't have Wolves down there, so that was a mistake. All right, Forest v Palace. Mateta's not going to play.
He could be going to Forest.
Yes, this could be the Jean-Philippe Mateta derby soon enough.
That's got a draw written all over it, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Forest might win that. It's at Forest.
Yeah,
I think Palace are in a terrible run of form. You know, obviously with everything that's happened recently, losing Gahey, you know, Mateta looks like he's going to go. Glasner's going at the end of the season, so
They're getting Strand Larsen though, save their season.
50 million. What
yeah.
signing?
Seems a lot.
It's bizarre. I was saying it earlier, but like Zinchenko is going for 1.5 million and Strand Larsen for 50 million. Like who's
I mean, Strand Larsen was good last season, but
yeah, but 50 million.
It's up to you. You can buy 30 Zinchenkos or 1 Strand Larsen, so it's up to you.
I mean,
from quite a small sample size on Strand Larsen, I think it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a
to
lot.
throw at him.
I think
personally.
it's the sort of. I saw someone say they'll have spent 85 million on Brennan Johnson and Strand Larsen. Now, I actually really like Brennan Johnson, but that amount of money on those two players is not good value for money.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
They'll probably be getting 40 odd for Mateta. So
But
they just
it's
still great business. Yeah, it's still not.
If you think Larsen is more expensive than Mateta, but undoubtedly not as good a player. So,
Yes, it will. Well, we'll see how they get on at the weekend, see if they can get back to form. Finally, Sunderland v Burnley. Two of the, I say newly, not really newly promoted, but two of the sides that came up last year.
I think Sunderland will win that.
Yeah, it's at the Stadium of Light as well, and they've been brilliant at home, haven't they?
Yes, it's Sunderland.
Yeah, I'm going. I think we all. I mean, you weren't here, so you're blameless in this, but we all went Sunderland to beat West Ham last week, and you know what happened. So yes, exactly. All right, we'll move on to our regular segment that we end the show with. Pint-sized partner. Who are you taking out for a drink at Box Bar Piccadilly this week? Who's been in the news?
I
do you
think it's going to be a proper good time if I bring Jose Mourinho here.
Yes.
Obviously, limbs when they the keeper scored the last minute winner to get him through for Benfica, and then he's going to face Real Madrid in the next round.
What game
I'm
that'll be.
sure we'll be relishing that chance. So yeah, I don't know what we'll get up to after it, but we'll see. I think it'll be a good time with Jose in there.
Well, I'm a bit worried that we might have all gone on a similar theme here, but Juptej, what are you?
I'm going to say João Pedro.
Okay, that's
Do you know what it
good.
is, right? His goals were unbelievable. The first touch for his goal where he banged it in the top bin, it's the Brazilian tech coming out. And he's had I don't want to say a slow season, but it's been very mixed. Like, his talent is unbelievable, but he's not shown it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's showing
Again,
what he's really capable
that
of.
felt like a coming of age. Big club like Chelsea, big Champions League night. Really impressive performance.
Well, I did think of this before you said yours, but I was going to say Trubin.
Yeah.
Yes, the goalkeeper who's
Bring him along. We'll have a 4-man meet up.
I mean, what a moment that was, seeing the goal. I mean, you don't see goalkeepers score many goals,
It was
but
one of them moments.
that was
where
unbelievable. With what was on the line.
You can almost anticipate something's going to happen. I was watching the goal show on TNT, and all the other games had finished, and they cut to this game, and the presenter's just run of the mill, like, oh, Benfica still need a goal. Let's see what happens from this corner. And Mourinho cuts to him, and you can tell something's going to happen. And the keeper's in, and it's like, what a shot.
It's amazing.
Perfectly epitomises everything the Champions League's all about. It's so good.
I was doing our live blog that day, so there was a lot going on, and that was the final game that was still going, I think.
Yeah.
So it was City needed Real Madrid not to win, I think, or not to draw to get in the top 8. And obviously, I think they were down to 9 men after, so it looked like they weren't going to go through. So from that perspective, it was. But obviously, Benfica needed one more goal.
The funny thing is, De Zerbi's resigned.
Oh right.
So allegedly, potentially resigned because of that goal. Obviously, Marseille didn't qualify.
Of course, yeah.
Because of that one goal. Snowball as a
Sliding
butterfly
door,
effect.
that is say, yeah. Ramifications elsewhere as well, but yeah, I mean that was just amazing. What happened? I think like Mourinho is saying that he didn't know they needed the goal until really late on.
Yeah.
Fans were urging him.
Yeah, he brought the defenders on to kind of see out the win, and then suddenly realised they needed a goal. Chucked the goalie for it. It was just
It
brilliant.
also sort of sums up this new format. Like, there's a lot of debate. Is it good? Is it bad? Personally, I'm not a huge fan, but what it does bring you is that amazing last day. Like, it's one of the best days in the footballing year.
Bookie's heaven now.
18 games. Yeah, I mean, the amount of gambling backslips I saw on my Twitter feed was ridiculous. But no, the entertainment was unbelievable.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for watching as always. Let's say we're here at Box Bar Piccadilly. Come and check it out. They've had an NFL launch party, I think, last night. So they'll be showing all the NFL, the Super Bowl's coming up. So if that's your kind of thing, you can come here and watch that. It's it should be interesting. And we'll be back next week. So thank you.